What's up, guys? I recently relearned Fly Famous Mockingbird for a gig that I was playing, and I figured it'd be silly to go to all that trouble of relearning the song and not make a video of it. So here we are. Personally, I've found Mockingbird to be possibly the most technically challenging Fish song I've ever learned. There's certainly tunes that are more complex in terms of their composition, but in terms of technique and flat-out speed, I've really found this one to be possibly the most difficult of them all. In this video, I'm just going to go over kind of the main melody of the song. If there's interest, I'll make another video that kind of goes into the details of how to play the whole song. One of the keys for me to getting this thing down was when I figured out that I needed to start the melody with an upstroke. That sort of set the beat up the right way so that I was landing on the strong beats on a downstroke. And once I started to feel that, I started to get the feel for the whole piece. So what I'm going to do here is run through the piece a couple times at a very slow speed so that you can see what I'm doing. And then I'll run it a little closer to the actual tempo of the song so you can kind of hear it up to speed. I'll also include a link in the description of the video for a tab of the whole thing. So this part of the song is played in a really fast 6/8 tempo. So you're feeling the beat in little groups of three, like da 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 da. So what we're measuring for a tempo marking is the dotted quarter note. When I practice this to a metronome, I set the metronome. I think they play it maybe as fast as 170 beats a minute. Playing the triplet at 170 beats a minute, that's really fast. I was struggling to get it clean much past about 160 beats a minute. I should also add that I make no guarantees about my fingering. I don't know for sure that they're the same as Trey's. In fact, I think they're probably not identical, although they're going to be pretty close. If you find a fingering that you like better for any of these passages, by all means, go for it. What I really think is important is just to pick a fingering and practice it that way. As I was playing through this, I decided 120 beats a minute was even a little fast for demonstration purposes, so I'm going to slow down to 100 for starters, and then I'll kick it back up to speed as I work through it. So like I said, what I like to do when I'm working on something technically demanding like this and trying to build up my speed is I start with the metronome set at a ridiculously slow tempo for starters, make sure I can play it perfectly at that tempo, and then I gradually start inching the tempo up to the target tempo. My example there was at 100 beats a minute. What I'm shooting for is about $1.60, so I'm going to split the difference now and do it at 130. So like I said, I think this song is actually played at 160 beats a minute or maybe even a touch faster than that. But at the moment I'm struggling to play it that fast, so just in the interest of keeping it a little cleaner, I'm going to slow it down to about 150. Another thing that I realized is I was sitting in this position while I was playing this, and I was realizing that my wrist on my picking hand was getting a little fatigued. And so I switched to my guitar to this other leg here. So for you right-handed players, it would sit on your left leg. For me, left-handed, even though I'm going to flip this video around, it's sitting on my right leg. This is more of a classical guitar type of position. Kind of mimics a little closer what the guitar is like when you're standing up, and I find that I can play it a little better facing this way.